Awesome.
Welcome to Spillin Sweet Tea, the podcast that pours out the good happening all around us. I am your host, Morgan Robinson. Each week we're sharing uplifting stories from inspiring people that remind us we are more connected than we think. So grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and we're gonna spill only the sweetest kind of tea. Today I'm so honored, excited to have with us the amazing Sara Busse. If you listened to or watched our chat with Chris Gossas, he name dropped you multiple times, actually. No pressure, just saying. But to tell you a little bit very tiny bit about Sara, she brings a lifetime of service and compassion to her work and fighting of many things, but food insecurity here in Charleston, strengthening the community. After a career in journalism and public relations, Sara chose to devote herself to volunteerism. I don't know how you can do it more than full-time, but it is more than full-time. You help to coordinate Trinity's Table, a food ministry that serves hundreds of meals each week to anyone in need, no questions asked. That is amongst other things that you do, but your passion for service really goes even further than that, supporting literacy, the arts, volunteering with local food pantries, after-school programs, serving on multiple nonprofit boards. You are a woman of achievement from the YWCA. I had the pleasure of working with Sara for the first time at the Clay Center and have since at the YW. So we have volunteered together, we have cried together, we have laughed together, and I'm very humbled to be able to say that. But your impact on community leadership embodies what I believe you say: everyone deserves dignity, respect, and a warm meal.
Amen.
Minimum.
Amen. Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
Got that right?
You make me sound so good. I don't know.
I don't make you sound good. No, you are amazing.
I just feed people. It's all good.
The simplest but most impactful gift, right?
Yeah.
And type of service is feeding people. Without a full belly, what can we do?
Well, and that's sadly, why is that a controversial topic?
Right.
Politically or even community-wise.
Yeah.
I remember at one night we had we often would have the police come by just to help us. Nothing bad, nothing wrong. Mm-hmm. And I had a guy, one of the police officers, tell me, please keep feeding people. They're happier when they're fed.
Yes.
They commit crimes when they're hungry. They commit crimes when they're sad, when they feel like there's nobody cares.
Right.
And our dining room is their home, and it's always been. And so
I think that's what people don't realize when you are feeding people is that you're not just providing a meal, you're providing a community, and you're providing something that is a sense of normalcy that they may not have in their everyday lives. You're building them physically, nutritionally, but also in their confidence. Because when they are in an environment with people that are experiencing the same struggles and they see a level of support, that is the purest form of humanity.
They see that we care. We just care.
Absolutely.
It's funny because Trinity's Table started right after Katrina. My son and I and a group of us from our church, Trinity Lutheran, went down to Biloxi and helped people after Katrina devastation. Oh, yeah. And turns out another woman and I, Eunice and I, they said, "Can you cook?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess. I cook for my family." So they threw us in the kitchen and had us feeding all the volunteers.
Oh,
and a little 4-burner stove. I mean, nothing. And we were crazy. And we came back and said, "Why are we not doing this at home?"
Yep.
So we started Trinity's Table, and we had put out flyers, and we told people, and we spread the news, and we had one person show up the first night. Now, I had 10 volunteers in matching aprons.
Yeah.
I had enough food to feed hundreds.
Yes.
And that poor guy, we were like, "Do you need a fork? How about a napkin? Dessert? How about another?"
Do you need someone to physically?
I mean, that poor guy. But obviously, he felt welcome, because the next week we had 25, and then after that, hundreds,
Absolutely.
And it's funny because people ask now, we don't do a physical meal at our church anymore.
Right.
COVID came at a time when we were shifting anyway. Mm-hmm. Our volunteers are older or young, kids from school or older.
Or adult, yep.
And right before COVID, the world had gotten a little bit dangerous, I'll be honest. And when you find needles in your bathroom, you worry. That's not a judgment call because I feed everybody. But I had to think about my people serving. And kind of wonderful because we connected with Jennifer Wagner of Faith in Action and a couple others. And so now we take the food to organizations. So we take lunch to the senior citizens at the East End Community Center. every week, sometimes twice a week. And I love my people over there. They're just the cutest, But these are people who worked all their lives and can't afford a meal.
Yes.
Some of them want the company. So there are a lot of reasons they're there. Being impoverished in your soul needs to be filled up as much as your belly.
Right.
And then we feed the kids at the Second Avenue Community Center over near Mary C. Snow Elementary. And here's, again, you're doing it, you're wondering, oh my God, I'm schlepping this food over there and I'm doing all this stuff. Had a little girl sit on my lap. This was last fall, so it wasn't hot. And she was barefoot. And I said, how old are you? 5. Well, that's cool. And I said, and where do you live? She said, 5. I said, what do you mean? 5 stop signs. She had walked barefoot.
Oh my
5 stop signs at 5 years old to get a meal. And so I threw in a few extra chicken nuggets the next week because, it is what it is. And it's organizations like that don't get a lot of credit in a good way, but they are doing things that, how do I put this? The more organized, like the Boys and Girls Clubs and people who do great work.
Right.
But they can only go so deep. These folks are going around the neighborhood saying you need a meal. And that's, to me, amazing.
That sense of community, seeing the unseen.
It's amazing.
Asking the questions.
Well, and we also deliver boxes of food once a month to senior citizens. And it's so cool because we have high school kids who deliver them. I know. They, become friends. I mean, one girl was graduating and she said, I need to make sure you have a good person to replace me because she likes this certain lotion and I pick it up every month for her.
Oh my gosh.
And then I have a young boy who picks up the cat litter for his lady every month. It's heavy. I get it for her because she needs it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? So the youth of America, we're good.
There's faith. There's hope. There's hope for them.
We're good.
Faith in Action is, just such an under-recognized, needed organization in our community, and the outreach that they do for seniors, for people that, as you've said, truly have worked their whole lives. And
Unreal.
It is. Jennifer and her team do literally the Lord's work. And
we did their Thanksgiving meal this year. Another group had done it for them in the past and had fallen apart. Nobody bad or anything. And she called and said, "Can you do this?" And here's the beauty of our community. I put one simple message on my Facebook. And I had 17 turkeys. I had so many sweet potato casseroles, you don't even want to. I have not seen that many marshmallows in a long time. All the stuff, done.
Yeah.
Like the catechism class, their leader from Sacred Heart sent me a message, we'll do the rolls. And somebody, it was just, and in the past we've done deviled eggs at these big meals. And I had people say, you didn't ask for deviled eggs. Can I still do them? And I'm like, okay. It was like, people need a slot.
yes.
They need to know where they can help. And we try to give them a slot,
There is need, but there's also a need to be needed, I think.
Oh, I do this for myself. No. You know what I mean, though? This is my joy.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Absolutely. And one of the things Chris and I talked about last week is that, especially when we're younger, you're volunteering for things to network, to meet people, to, build and showcase your skills. But as you get older, it just becomes so much more of how you're contributing, how you're helping. And neither is a wrong type of volunteer.
Absolutely.
And that's what I want to drive home, especially for, teenagers, young professionals. There is no bad reason for reaching out and lending a helping hand.
Some of my kids need service hours for school.
Exactly.
Some don't. And it's okay.
And it's okay. It's absolutely okay.
We've worked with the late Judge Joanna Tabbitt. We worked with her kids who were in drug court. And they came, but a couple of them came and fell in love with us, And,
Yes.
And I had one kid who came to Trinity for some kind of something. I don't remember what for. It was some kind of class thing. And offered to volunteer that evening at Trinity's table. And he, that night, his mom called me. And she said, he's in his bedroom crying. And I said, oh my God, what did I do?
What did I do?
Oh, hell. Did it again. And she said, no. He said, I was the kid who made fun of people because he was in middle school. I made fun of people. We would mock people walking down the street. He said, but they don't have food. They don't have bathrooms. They don't have anything. And he volunteered for years after that. So we gave him a little gift, We had a man who came to us and he could barely walk. He was so drunk. And he had a Kroger bag with his stuff in it, lived under a bridge.
Oh.
When he passed away, he was the sexton for our church, for the Charleston Women's Club. He was the leader of the AA group because the night he came, it was cold. And we had a closing time. And my volunteers, I had to, you can't just say, oh,
right.
we're
going to say, yeah.
So he said, I don't want to go outside. And I said, well, you know what? I'll make you a deal. There's an AA meeting upstairs. If you're interested, are you? And he said, I've been meaning to, but I don't want to stand outside and wait. I said, here, take this broom, mop the floor, or sweep the floor. He did. Ended up, his funeral at Trinity, they brought in chairs and had to set up a remote site in the social hall. So many people loved him.
So many people loved him.
Turns out, he also told me he played the violin. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be interesting. Because we had people play the piano all the time. And well, he had studied with Itzhak Perlman as a child. Yeah. I mean, he was magnificent.
The gifts that are walking amongst us that we
got him
see.
a violin, and it went on from there.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
You wonder, why am I doing this? I'm so tired, and I just don't want to be here. And then
these little...
You get a James or whoever.
These little gifts to show up and tell you.
It's pretty neat.
How you're needed.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is cool.
We're lucky.
We're very lucky. Yes.
To the T. I love that.
What is bringing you joy lately?
My grandbabies.
Oh, yes.
That is such an easy one. I mean, I had no idea. People tell you, oh, you're going to love this grandma thing. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I was just telling Sarah that we have a grand dog now.
Oh, and you think that's joyful?
Oh, I know. I can't even imagine. Yeah.
But a year and a half ago, I have 4 grandchildren.
Yes.
The oldest 2 came to us as grown-ups.
Yes.
Not grown-ups, as middle school and grade school.
Partially formed humans.
Yes. And they're mine. I love them. Oh, God, I love them.
They're good boys.
They are the best.
Yes.
But then a year and a half ago, we had 2 grandbabies.
Yes.
My son had a daughter. My daughter had a son. And they're pretty much the greatest things ever.
They are.
Ever. They're just so cute.
What have you learned from them? As someone who teaches us so much.
Okay, that's a good one.
That was not on the list.
No, but that's a really good one. I've learned to take my time and enjoy them, because when you've got your own kids, and everybody says this, and it's all on the memes of TikTok and everybody else, when you've got your own kids, you don't have time, and you should sit back and enjoy this.
Yeah.
You can't.
Right.
You got to do the laundry. I don't have to.
Right.
I don't have to do that. So I get to listen to them and talk to them. And the oldest, if you ask him who his best friend is, he'll say Pap, which is my husband.
Oh.
It's his person. Yeah.
Everybody needs that person.
And they're pretty cool together.
I love that.
He's a talker, and my husband just patiently listens. And he's a great talker. He's facts and fun, and but Bob just sits there with him.
That's all you need.
Fabulous.
Somebody to listen.
So
That's fabulous.
That's the joy.
That is a joy. That's such a cool joy.
That's
a great one.
Yeah.
Tell us, we're embarking on 2026. 2025 is in the rear view, but was there a moment in the last year that's really moved you or resonated with you?
You know what? It was something that happened and then spawned a series of moments. We were fortunate enough, we work with Facing Hunger Food Bank and Mountaineer Food Bank. Mm-hmm. Facing Hunger called and asked if we would be willing to talk to the media about a lot of the cuts that were happening. And this is before all the SNAP closed down. This was way back. And I said, sure. And we spoke with the AP, with USA Today, but the New York Times did an article on us, and we were on the front page. Mm-hmm. And, like I said, I feed people. I didn't know this was, but that spurred so much joy. I had a woman in Palo Alto who sent me a huge check because she read the story. I had a 93-year-old woman in New England who called and she said, I'm going to send you a little check. I read the article, and I'm going to put it in a pretty envelope so nobody will know it's got a check in it.
Oh,
and
smart.
She sends it to me, and it's for $20,000. A little check.
A little check.
I speak with her frequently, and I'd just been talking to her. I called her recently, and I said, how are you doing? She said, I can't talk right now. I'm in the middle of a fiddle lesson.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, damn, I want to be her.
I want to be her, too.
I mean,
I would love a fiddle lesson.
It was very cool.
That's very cool.
And then I have a man in New York City. I Googled his address because it looked cool. He lives in this really fancy building because I'm that person. And he told me he was Muslim and gay, and he had been in and out of poverty and then goodness and family issues and religion and all the things.
That has to be so complex, yeah.
And he had sent a check for like $50, wonderful. And I wrote him a thank you note.
Yeah.
And just talked to him, because I wrote personal thank you notes to everybody. You know, it's just what we do, because that's my mama, you know. And and he said, I send checks all the time, and I rarely, sometimes I get a 501c3 note or something. And he said, thank you. So he continues to send money every month. He's adorable, you know.
The value.
Yeah. And one fancy apartment too. I said, I'm coming to visit you in New York.
I want to see that. Yeah. I saw you on Zillow. I want to see you in person now. You know? Yes. I love a good Zillow stalking session. Absolutely.
I love it.
No, I think, and the media is also something that's become so political and gets such a bad rep. And yes, I get it. It can go both ways, but that is the purest form of information sharing, is really giving the facts, telling the story, putting a narrative behind a cause, and impacting the lives of people who don't live it.
Exactly.
We need this.
And so many people would send us donations and just say, my mother was homeless, or we went through tough times, and I remember going to the food bank and the soup kitchen and so on. And I'm like, thanks. You know?
Yeah.
So we have a lot of fans across the country now, which is pretty cool.
It's really cool.
And it helped
a
lot, because when SNAP shut down, we took groceries to hundreds. I mean, the coolest thing, modern technology, I used Instacart.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I didn't have enough volunteers to take these groceries to these people who needed it, and it needed to be safe and all the things. And so I had somebody give me a donation to cover the Instacart fees for that period of time.
Yeah.
And that's
brilliant.
And we sent groceries and diapers and milk and
the necessities.
And nobody asked for anything crazy.
Yeah.
They asked for milk and bread and cereal and raisin bran and Cheerios. You know,
canned food things they can. Yeah. Absolutely.
So that was really cool.
That is very cool.
Technology at its best.
I'm ready for drones to just come and drop off our packages. Anybody who listens to me will know I'm like AI. I praise our overlords. Like when they take us over, I feel like I'm going to be their number one soldier. Like I'm here for it.
I'm there. Give me chat GPT. I'm golden.
This is our best friend.
Yeah,
yes.
golden.
So good.
I love it.
So you inspire a lot of people. And spoiler alert, because I know we haven't put it out yet, but you were Chris's answer to this question.
Wow.
One of two. Who is someone in your life that inspires you?
You know what? It's funny. And I've thought about this a lot. I could say my pastor, Randy Richardson, because he's like the most normal human being a pastor, and we're Lutheran, so we don't like woohoo.
Right.
You know, we just sing the hymn. Where's the coffee?
You're like Catholic light.
We're good. We're good. Because he's just taught me so many things about giving, and when I'm mad because I give away food and somebody doesn't want it, or they say, oh, I didn't like that. And he said, once it leaves your hand, it's a gift. You have no control over what they spend it on or do with it. It is done.
Yeah.
Your part, you don't get control over that. And he's right.
He is right.
But I will say too, and this is a group, this young group of people, you included.
Thank you.
The Maria Belchers, my daughter Emma Busse, the Nikki McClanahan, Drew, Brian Conrad, this young group of women and men, a lot of women, to be brutally honest with you, sorry, but
we're spilling tea, and I'm here for that.
Damn, we got some girl power, and I know that's hokey and query to say, but it's just a weird thing, and I just admire that group of women who are killing it.
Thank you.
Killing it.
I fully agree.
We need that. We
do, and I love that you mentioned women. Yeah. We are because you were.
Yeah.
And we are so they will, right? I've got Kylie, our daughter, in the corner here, who is the next generation of these like just fierce women who are pulling people up out of, I mean, it is. Seeing a need, meeting it. You don't need the recognition. You don't need, you just get things done.
Well, and I will do one of these, pat myself on the back, because I think my generation, and I will say, the men of my generation, many of them are, but many of them, like my husband, who had daughters, realized, oh crap, we need to give them all the power.
Yes.
They're good. And I just think there's a reason women today are allowed to do what they're allowed to do.
Yes.
And alloved's kind of a weird word, but empowered, maybe?
Empowered. I like empowered, but I think allowed is still relevant. And we are not far removed from a time that allowed was absolutely the word. We were not allowed.
My dad was the most, in later years, and in all his life, but he was very big on, I had to go to college, I had to do all those things. But back then, the norm was find a job that you can raise children while you're doing it.
Yes.
Instead of raise your children while you're doing your job. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It was, and he wasn't being negative. He, and I was fortunate to be able to do it all. But it was tough. And I know I just think that this group of women in this town is running things. I mean, the animal shelter, every charitable organization now. Check. It's a girl.
It's a girl.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is good.
Including Madam Mayor.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. I was talking to her about, she gave me great advice. When I was talking to her about somebody, I said, well, they're not real warm and fuzzy. And she said, why do women have to be warm and fuzzy?
Oh, yes.
And she's right.
She is right.
I mean, if men had done some of the things that women do, they would have been called good leaders or strong or holding the line.
No nonsense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a woman does it, and it's like, oh, she's, she gets called that word.
Yeah.
And it's like, really?
Really?
But I don't get it.
I don't either. Yeah. But I do. I feel like we're changing it.
Yeah, very much so. So I just think the women of this community are killing
It's
it.
beautiful.
And also, you got to look at my generation of women. That group of, the Ellen Allens and the Deb Weinsteins and the rocking the world. They started it.
Yep.
And I'm proud of that. Proud to be part of
Definitely paving the way for
that.
success.
Proud to be part of that. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It is very cool. So with all these women and men that inspire you and you've surrounded yourself, the best piece of advice you've received?
Easy.
Ooh.
I say it all the time. And it applies to marriage, it applies to jobs, it applies to everything. When I had been married for a couple weeks, called my mom. And I said, Mom, he folds the towels wrong. And my mom said to me, he folds the towels, period. Say thank you.
Oh, wow.
Now, in marriage, that makes sense, but in volunteerism, I have had people, if I give someone a job, like at the soup kitchen, you're in charge of drinks. They're in charge of drinks. I don't care if they fill the cup this full, if they line them up, if they give everybody some, I don't care. They're allowed to take that on. And I know that sounds like a little thing, but when you're serving 300 meals and you got to have to do it however you want to. And I've had people in my life who were volunteer coordinators who, my way or the highway, here's how we do it. I don't think you let people, if people are offering their time, you let them have control. You let them have ownership.
Yeah.
And my mom said, let him have ownership of those towels. And you know what? He still fills the towels and they're fine. They're folded. They're in the cupboard. We're done.
I feel like Ben can resonate with that in the way that I bag groceries. I have a very, but I should just be happy.
I get it.
Just be happy.
But honestly, it's say thank you. And it's helped me in all my life.
I really needed to hear that, honestly. I mean, that is something I struggle with delegation and
control.
Yes.
Believe me. Believe me. I am the queen of control. But I've learned, every time I think, oh, God, I wish they'd do this way. And then I go, wait a minute, they just did it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gifts, somebody gives you a gift and it's like, oh, God, I'll never carry that purse.
Right.
Although my son-in-law bought me a purse this year, so that was not intended for him because it's fabulous. He's really good. He's really good. He gave me these earrings.
Oh, those are beautiful.
For Christmas, just from him.
Are you a February birthday?
Yes, I am.
What is your birthday?
February 18th.
13th? Yes.
Woo!
Amethyst
Aquarius,
here. I was going to say Aquarius. Yes, the water signs were here for it.
Amen.
Yes.
But, I tell my daughter and daughter-in-law this all the time. They do it. Say thank you. Or I told my volunteers that all the time, that we're in the roles of leading the kitchen or leading this room.
Not controlling.
Pick a person and let them do it however they want to. And it's hard sometimes because you got a middle schooler pouring, and it's
but it's getting done.
And they're learning how to do it, and they're given the control of it. And I had parents come to me later after and their kids would volunteer, and they'd come to me and they'd say they loved it because you let them do stuff. They felt like they were in charge. I said they were of their little corner of the world, and we said thank you. So remember that one.
I do. Yes, that needs to just be like right here. So we love music here. Huge music festival people. I know you do as well. If your life had a soundtrack, what song would be playing?
That's a good one, and I'm thinking about this.
It's a tough one.
Well, but I'll tell you, it's funny. Like I say, I love Crowded Table. You know, I love the songs that meaning songs. But you're going to laugh at this. I went to college in the 70s and in the South.
Yeah.
And if I could have beach music played all the time, the Tams, the Embers, the Spinners, I love that stuff.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Because that's when I became an adult. I learned to drink beer, and then I learned not to drink as much beer. I mean, you know what I mean?
Lesson that everyone has to
I'd never
learn.
done any of that stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. And I remember when I went to college, I called my dad, and high school, I can say that. I was like, president of the class, head of the honor society, lead in the musical, blah, 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 blah. And the first week, I went to the end of the dorm hallway, because that's where the phone was.
Yep.
Called my dad and I said, every girl here was president of the class. Every girl here was leading the music, and they're all pretty. You didn't tell me this would be this hard, you know. And so, but that's where I first formed female friends that were adult friends. And to this day, we still travel together.
I love that.
There's a group of us, and we go to the beach, and we go to the mountains, and we're together, and they are flung all over the country. One's a doctor in North Carolina, one's a Hollywood producer. She's the lead writer on Doc, the show on TV now. Carol's amazing, and Sherry, and one's a school teacher, and one's a this, and was a flight attendant forever.
All walks
cool
of
stuff
life.
all over the country,
cool.
and we meet and get together. And so I think the beach music and there's a little disco thrown in there because that's when the era of that was. That was kind of outside the campus. You know, you went to the bar on campus, it was the beach music.
Outside,
But that era of music, it's
representative of a time, I think.
Yeah, and it takes me back to when I first got to learn about myself.
Yeah.
Like, why am I here? You know, what do I want to major in? What do I want to, you know, and that's where I learned to write.
Who do I want to be when I grow up?
Do the things I love.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
I actually love that about music. You know, people talk about smells and music are the things that will bring you back so
definitely.
Quickly, so powerfully. And I think, you know, music absolutely does that for me. And I'll be at the gym and hear a Nelly song.
Oh, yeah.
You have all these interesting experiences.
Well, we had a rule in our house when the kids were little because it was early on with iPods, you know, and so on. And I said, I had one account, and they got to put their music on it. I said, your mother has to listen to anything you listen to.
Okay.
Well, I mean, so therefore, I had diamonds on my damn chain on my iPod, you know, because I wanted them to have the music that was cool, but they also needed to know. And I also, it was an excuse or a chance to talk to the boys about these songs that were putting down women, these songs that were aggressive. That's not cool. Not cool, you know. But.
So next up, we're actually taking a little bit of a shift.
Okay.
We're getting a little sour with our sweet. So we are going to be tossing in a lemon slice to our tea today. We're going to talk about something in your life or in your volunteerism experience that started out sour and then turned into either really truly making lemons out of lemonade, or lemonade out of lemons, vice versa that one. But a turning point, something meaningful, because really I think the toughest moments end up shaping us. And I grew up in a household that the motto was failure is not an option. And until I was an adult, did I realize that sometimes failure is the most amazing option.
You know, it's funny. Years ago, when I was a young mom, I was nursing and running the house, and I was volunteering. And I had an older woman say to me, and she was prominent and she was beloved, and she said to me something like, she never had children. She said, well, you know, I have nieces, and I just don't understand why you can't come and do this because, you know, and she was really mean. She was really mean. Everybody loved this woman, and I'm like, fine. Won't name names, but it was tough on me.
Yeah.
And I remember just being pissed off and like, how dare you comment on what I'm trying to do? And that made me a better volunteer leader I from that day on had to, it's the whole hokey pokey thing about, you never know where someone is at the time, I mean, but it's true.
It's true. It's true.
You don't know what they're going through.
Right.
And my mom was ill. I was raising a baby. I was doing a lot.
Yeah.
And she had the nerve to be mad at me because I didn't do it the way she wanted it to be done. And that really, my work with that charity went down and others went up that had women who raised me up.
Absolutely.
And, but she, and she was of that era. She'd be 100 now or whatever, you know what I mean? And so she was of that era where I get it too. They had to fight and claw for everything they had. I get all that. It doesn't make you able to be mean. You don't get to do that.
It still does not give you the permission to belittle others.
And so it has given me that moment. Oh, it was devastating, and it gave me the gift.
At the time, it has to be.
It was horrible. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't do it perfectly. I just got this bad moment. I mean, it was wild. So after that, I went and was working with Mary Kay Bond and Wonderful Women at Read Aloud, and bringing my son to the table and all the things, and it was like raise you up. And I thought, okay, we're good.
This is the environment I need to be in right now.
Yeah.
Right.
It was good. So
a little lemon slice. Perfect.
It was.
Perfect.
It was sour, but it turned sweet.
That's what we hope all lemon slices will end up being, just a little layer to the drink.
Absolutely.
And if not, throw some vodka in and make a,
Amen. Come on in.
So next up, we're going to pour one out. So this is a part of the segment that we take a moment to recognize someone who is making a difference in this community. And you talked about the women in this community, especially younger generations that are raising up Charleston, which is where we're located. But really, right now, time to give your flowers and share some gratitude. Who would you like to pour one out for?
Well, like I say, I mean, if I could, I will, number one in this community, my daughter. And you know what? She's one of those unsung heroes because she gives her time she's the treasurer of our church and she does all these things. She's the regional manager of a brokerage firm. She's the mother of 3, and one's 14 and one's 1.5. And she's fabulously funny and delightfully, I don't know, I see her as doing all the things I did not get to do. The night before she took the baby to the daycare for the first time, I never had to do that. I kept them at home. I never had to do that. And in the middle of the night, I woke up and I went, I never got to do that. I never got to go back to an amazing professional career. And I didn't know it was a possibility. And women, there was one woman back in the day who was very prominent in Charleston around my age. And she said something to me. She was in a very professional position. She said, I'm so glad you moms are staying home and taking care of the PTA because, so we can work. Oh, yeah, that was another one of those lemon slices.
That's it, yeah.
Years later, this woman came to me and said, I was wrong, which took a lot.
How often does that happen?
And she said, we were sitting around the dinner table, and my son said, she was like, what do you remember about grade school? Mrs. Busse was there.
Oh.
Mrs. Busse took us on the field trip. Mrs. Busse served us lunch. Mrs. Busse read aloud. Mrs. Busse. And I'm like, whoa. She said, I'm sorry. She said, but she was in that, I have to climb to get there. She meant it as a compliment. Thank you for, doing this.
Right.
But it came
out.
Stabbed to my heart.
Yep.
And so I think now my daughter and you and other women are raising each other up instead of cutting each other down.
I think, I hope, thank you, and I hope so. And, the past few years I've chosen a word of the year, as so many of us do, that little trend. And my word for this year is balance.
Yeah.
And I think that probably is the most delicate and difficult part. Yes. And your daughter does such a wonderful job with that. And she truly is an unsung hero because she's not out there getting, she's not on billboards. And so many of our most amazing humans aren't, right? The people that are quietly working behind the scenes to raise amazing humans at home,
or not raise amazing humans, but keep the world going.
Keep the world going. Yes,
I mean, it's just I don't know. Again, this young generation of young women. Damn, I mean, honestly, I'm overwhelmed all the time. I text a lot of them. I'm fortunate because some don't have moms here, some don't have, and so I'll text them, I'll say, you okay today, or what do you need?
Yep.
and I'm truly interested, and I'm truly saying, I'm here. Can I pick up your groceries? Can I do this for you? Because I didn't have that. I had this woman saying, you didn't do it right. And so,
Right.
That's now my daughter gets mad. She's like, Mom, I can handle all this. And I said, but you don't have to.
You don't
I'm
have
here
to
help you.
I think that's the most beautiful thing is when you know that you can.
Yeah.
I have full faith and confidence that you can. I don't want you to have to. And I want you to know that I'm here.
I want to.
Yeah.
I like this.
And we do that for our, mutual friend Maria. I'm constantly doing that for her.
Checked on her this morning. She had a bloody nose yesterday.
Oh
Was that a gross thing to talk about?
No,
but anyway,
I think it's fine. It's
and she's amazing. And I texted her this morning, are you feeling okay? How are you feeling? Because she's amazing.
She's amazing.
Yeah, I love it. We were at the Ruffner yesterday taking Christmas decorations down.
Yeah. Always going.
It was an adventure.
Always going. Well, and we do. We need check-ins. Human connection is as necessary as oxygen. You need check-ins, and you need to know that there are people out there that care about you. Because when you feel isolated and alone, that's when the scary things happen.
The kudos that they need. You need the attaboys, the attagirls. You need that. You need to be told, like, Nikki and Maria were overwhelmed over Christmas by the Ruffner, but you know what? Damn!
Killed it.
They killed it. I mean, that place was filled up. And I look at that. I look at Amber Yost. I look at all these women in this town who are just killing it. And I think, just thank them. Again, say thank you. Don't say they did it wrong. Say thank you.
Yeah.
That's what we need to remember to do.
And I talked to Chris about this too. I am horrible with thank you cards because I have them. I will write them. I will put them in the envelope, and then I will promptly put them in my purse, my glove box, my backpack, the visor. And like 3 months later, I'm like, well, this is irrelevant now.
Yeah.
So I've really tried to start texting. We mentioned if something pops in my head, something happens, I'm texting at that time because I feel like I need to. So
absolutely,
just the simple act of gratitude.
Well, and women have a different take on friendship. When my husband retired, he was miserable because his friends were his office.
Yeah,
and he has now grown into a group of men friends that he goes to lunch with and he does things. But it took him a while. Where I've got women friends, multiple groups, and I mean that not like I have multiple groups of friends, but I have. Like I say, the Debbie, Michelle, blah, 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 that group. And then I have Steph and the girls that we all were church camp counselors together. Now we travel and drink together.
Yeah.
And I have my college friends, and I have my this. And we raise each other up. I have high school friends that I'm in touch with just about every day.
I love that.
Three of us. We just signed up for an introductory class to bungee yoga.
Oh, my gosh.
What the hell was I thinking?
We need to do behind the scenes on that.
I'll let you
just
know.
like all that.
I
see the video.
Oh, I know.
So when a woman was going, I know. Oh,
We've signed up.
I love it.
Paid my $25. I'm in.
Here we go. We're ready.
I mean, is that scary? But
you have to scare yourself. I love that.
Doing things together.
Yeah.
That's just. I feel like women get friendship. And that's not a male bashing thing or anything. Because my son has amazing friends. Can I tell you a little fun?
Yeah.
My son's in Texas, and he's always been the kid, like in high school, who would have the nerdy kid come sit with the cool kids. He was the cool kid, and he'd always say, hey, come join us. He was just that boy. And they had a party, so we could meet all their friends in Texas. And every single guy at the party came up to me at one point and said, John's my best friend.
Oh.
I mean, what?
That's beautiful.
And I think because I raised him and Emma and to be friends, to have friends, to value people. And I think that's something missing in a lot of people. If it's missing in your life, go find a friend.
Go find a friend.
Befriend the lady at Kroger, because you know what? She's looking for a friend too.
Yes. We have a friend that recently has done 2 moves, and she reached out and she said, I finally have hit the time that I found my stride with my job and with, this relationship, and I need friends locally. Yeah. Like, I love you all, but I can't drive 5 hours every time I want to have dinner. Yeah, exactly. And so we're all kind of brainstorming ways to meet people.
It's hard.
And
It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to create, it's hard to cultivate, and it takes work and time. And
I mean, it's a lot of work in a good way.
In a great way, because the rewards, you reap so many rewards for the work that you put in.
Oh, I'm very selfish about it. My friends are my world, in a good way.
In a great way.
I don't know what I'd do without.
Oh, yeah. We
those texts.
Sit down with the calendar and try to carve out and protect that time and that space, and it's necessary.
If you read our group texts,
I would never.
I don't think you want to.
No, I would never share mine. I would never read anyone else's.
My one group of
Sacred.
friends, my high school girls, I mean, we send the raunchiest, crappiest, craziest. if Emma gets a meme from me that's at all off color,
it's
because I'll share it with her, and she's like, "Is this from Margie?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yep, that's
Margie.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Sorry, Margie. But and then my college friends, we're following the college sports, and it's hilarious.
Yeah,
and watching the games together in 47 locations.
And everybody probably has their team. Yeah.
Oh my God, we missed the extra point. And, I mean, we were watching that Duke's Mayo Bowl because my college was in it, and it was hilarious. Discussing them dumping the mayo on the coach's head.
So
and we're all like,
disgusting.
It was bad. It was bad. But that's a fun thing.
And there are times that I really dislike technology, but the connectivity that it brings us across miles it's so invaluable.
I should write thank you notes, but you know what? If I text one, I'm okay now.
I feel the same way.
My mom would be okay with this.
Tracy Lou would not come back and make me pick my switch for that.
Floss is smiling.
Well, in each episode, we do like a really quick roundup called the sip list. So we are going to do that right now. So one thing that you're watching.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at it. Shrinking.
Yes.
New season comes out right now. And I just rewatched last season just so that I could. Love that.
Love that. I need to watch that. It's on my list.
Love that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I love Jason Segel. Oh, and Harrison Ford. Yeah. One thing you're reading or listening to?
I just finished Let Them, and I just bought 1929 by Andrew Ross Sorkin, economist, about the fall of the stock market and
timely.
stuff.
Yeah.
He's brilliant.
Yeah. One thing that you're grateful for?
My life, my family, my home.
That's 3.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, my life. I mean, damn. I'm so lucky.
You're so lucky.
So lucky.
You've built it.
It's maybe, but a lot of it's been purely right place, right time. Good parents. Good
foundation.
Yeah.
Sweet or unsweet tea?
Sweet cold tea.
Sweet. I was going to say iced or hot. Cold tea.
Went to the South.
Yeah.
Went to school in the South.
It'll change it.
Go Wake Forest. Demon Deacons.
Who would you like to spill tea with? We'll do locally and then a celebrity.
Oh, wow. That's a hard one, but I think okay, I'm going to name one. And this is not a political statement. I just think she's fabulous online. Kayla Young.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I don't know her.
Yeah.
I don't know her at all. And I've never met her, but I see her videos, and not a political statement, because who cares what party or whatever. Right. She's just really good at explaining what the hell's going on.
So engaging.
Funny as hell.
She's so funny.
Really like
She's
her.
Very charismatic.
Yeah.
And I taught a class at UC a couple years ago, and international students, student athletes. I think maybe one student in the class was actually from West Virginia.
Wow.
When we were talking about just the influence and how public relations and the change over the past decades, every person in that room knew Kayla.
Yeah.
Because they watched her to be able to understand the process of what was going on in their new home. I think
she's educating, and so therefore, like I say, whatever your politics are, that doesn't matter. It's that she's showing us the process. And I know she ruffles feathers. I know she's made some people mad in different parts and whatever, and that's fine. And and she may have made people mad who I like and who I agree with. It doesn't matter.
Right.
That's not the point. Back in the day when I grew up on Little Woodland Avenue in South Charleston, I didn't know if somebody, my next door neighbor, was a Republican or a Democrat or conservative. They were just Mrs. Catholi or Mrs. Lanterman or the Hatfields. I did not know. And we need to go back to that.
We didn't leave
We
with
need to
party
respect
first, right?
someone because they're fabulous. Who cares if they're,
And I think having that open door to a process that has been so closed off to us is it's exciting.
Yeah.
To be able to understand.
She's doing some cool stuff.
She is.
Really cool.
That's a really good one. Any celebrities you'd like to spill tea with?
Jennifer Garner.
Oh.
Who wouldn't?
What a dream.
Who wouldn't?
What a dream.
And I will say, too, my old roommate from college, who's this amazing producer in Hollywood. I mean, you see her name on TV, and she spills the tea on a lot of people with us.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And not tacky, just, things, but it's fun. Celebrity's such a weird thing because, they influence you, and just because they're a good actor, I want someone like Jennifer Garner who is kind and wonderful and does things behind.
And just seems like
the
a good
acting.
human. Yeah.
I mean, you know, my husband bought me a KitchenAid blender thing because he saw her advertise it.
Her not cooking show too
how
that
cool
she
is
does,
that?
which
I
is
know,
so much
her
fun.
mom.
Oh my gosh, I
She
love
just took
it.
her mom to see the Aurora Borealis, and I cried. It was
It's
amazing.
beautiful. She's
cute.
a beautiful human being.
So she's on my list.
Well, now we are passing the cup. So this is it always makes me a little bit nervous. Not as much with you as it was with Chris earlier, but I don't get to hear this question ahead of time, so no prep, no heads up, no anything like that. Just an honest conversation. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do.
Oh no.
Yes, I do.
You're prepared.
No, I do though. How do you find balance in your life as a young woman who's working and creating and all the things?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we talk about honesty and authenticity. I don't, but I strive to.
Okay.
And I think that last year in, you know, building a business and building a brand and wanting to be, I'm a yes person by nature. You get that? Yeah. Wanting to be a yes person, being a parent, being a wife, being a friend. You feel like there are so many balls in the air and so many hats you're wearing on their head, and not every day do I do it well. Matter of fact, probably most days I don't. But I try, and I try to admit when I fail.
You know what? That's okay, though. It's okay.
I agree.
Every day doesn't have to be perfect.
Exactly.
One time, my son would only eat hot dogs as a child, and every meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And I asked the pediatrician, and he said, "It's balance. It's okay. Yeah. Look at what he eats in a month. Look at what he'll come around. You know what I mean? It's okay that 1 month is all hot dogs.
Right.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay that 2 meals 1 week are pizza.
Yeah.
Every day doesn't have to be perfect.
He's getting fed, and sometimes that's all that matters.
But for general purposes, every day doesn't have to be perfect.
Yes. Well, and I think admitting that gives you, I mean, it is more authentic. And so a recent example, in December, I was asked to put together a proposal for a nonprofit that I love dearly to do some work with them. And I looked at the scope of the proposal, and I looked at my capacity. And it was very hard for me as a business owner and as a yes person to say, I don't have the capacity, but I've reached the point where I would rather say no when I know I can't do it as well as I want to or as they deserve. And so in my email response, I said to the CEO, who I know well, and I just said, I don't want to do this to you. At this point, I can't. I don't have the capacity. And she said, do you understand how refreshing it is for someone just to say no? Yeah. Just to, you know, instead of saying, okay, well, I'm going to do this, but I have to, and then half-ass it or phone it in.
New Year's resolution a couple of years ago was say no. And I did. And I do now. I do now. And I don't always. I try.
Yeah.
But in general, pick something you love and do it right. You know.
Well, I was listening to a podcast recently, and somebody said, you know, I looked over at you. It was on a set of a show. I looked over at you, and you were typing out this long excuse as to why you couldn't say yes to something, and you know, all of your regrets. And she said, I took the phone from her, and I deleted the message and said, nope, can't do it.
Exactly.
Sometimes you don't owe the world an excuse.
Oh, don't you do in the shower? You work through the reasons why you can't. Or in the middle of the night, to wake up and you're grinding your teeth and you're wondering why.
Why am I having anxiety dreams? Yes. Yeah.
So just say no.
Just say no.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Isn't that Nancy Reagan's old thing or something? Just say
just
no.
say no. I don't know if she was talking about the same thing, but I'm going to go for it.
Oh my God.
So our last sip is sharing information from really just something that I found that's like inspired me or resonated with me. I've bookmarked, I've saved. I don't know if you're like me on Instagram, you have 47 things in folders. And so one thing I found that I really liked was the paradox of kindness. You'll give your time, your care, your heart, often to people who may not give it back. And sometimes that really hurts. But kindness is not a transaction. It's a reflection of who you are, not what you get in return. because life has a strange way of circling back, just not from where you gave it. So the help that you give may return as grace. The love that you offer may show up as peace. The understanding that you share comes back as clarity. You rarely receive it from the same place that you give, but you will always receive it. Wow. And that is the quiet paradox of kindness.
Wow.
Isn't that powerful?
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like, in life things do feel so transactional, and we do feel entitled, and we are very much, myself included, in an instant gratification society. Yeah. But you rarely receive it from the same place you give, and I would add, and you rarely receive it in the timeline you expected.
Yep.
But you'll get it back.
We have a bumper sticker glued to the refrigerator at Trinity's table. It says, "Love people, feed them good food."
Period. I love that.
You don't need to get it back. They don't need to say thank you.
Kindness is simple.
Yep. Just feed them spiritually or emotionally or physically.
And if you can do all three.
Feed people.
Feed people.
Yeah, that's what we do.
What a great message to take from today. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, so much fun.
Wonderful.
What a wonderful conversation. So much fun. I hope that you were not only inspired, I hope you were educated, you were informed, that you're walking away with a sense of purpose and a direction for how to guide your passion. If you'd like to learn more or volunteer with Trinity's Table, specifically if you're here locally in Charleston, visit them online at trinitywv.org. If you're listening nationally and you would like to learn more just about food insecurity in your area, I recommend visiting feedingamerica.org. You can find a full list of programs local to your area, food pantries local to your area, and these links are also going to be available online, of course, on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Spillin Sweet Tea. Thank you once again, and thank y'all so much for joining me again for Spillin Sweet Tea. If today's story uplifted your spirits, if you were feeling motivated and excited, please share it. Share it with someone who could use some words of advice or guidance or a little motivation to do a little bit more in our corner of the world. Be sure to subscribe to us both on Spotify and on YouTube, and share your own sweetness. We want to celebrate you, right? We want to pour one out for you. So if you see someone doing good, if you're doing good, if you want to share that, just use the hashtag Spillin Sweet Tea. Until next time, keep looking for the good. Keep learning from one another. Keep loving one another. Keep your tea sweet and your outlook even sweeter. Thank you.
I love that.